Oh my gosh, you guys. Hey, sorry. Sorry, I thought I had this going and the twins are sleeping and I was not able to truly articulate. I, I'm back. I'm back. Hello. Um, there was quite some things that I wanted to say earlier and I couldn't articulate them because I had, the two Twinkies and they're asleep. So we probably have, 7.5 minutes for me to finish what I was trying to tell you. Yes, I know, right? Shh, nobody wake them up. The first person that wakes them up gets it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. My eyes are a little bit blurry. So, that's because I almost fell asleep and I was like with them and I was like, no, get up. You need to finish your thoughts from this morning. So, the money thing. Oh, Catherine got her mug. Yay! Did anybody else get their mug? I mailed them all at the same time. And I mailed them all priority mail. So everyone should have theirs today. Tomorrow at the latest. Actually, the mail comes late. And then Nina, I think they said 2 to 3 days because she's, all the way in Oregon. So anyway, I'm Michelle Wolf. Super quick. CashActDesigns.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me here. You can email me. You can find everything and just Google me. That's good enough. Wolf with 2 F's. So anyway, I got Mala from Thrive with Sarah. If you're not following her, you should be because you never know when she's going to make your Mala and what kind of message it's going to bring you. So I feel like people who've gotten one or, even if you don't get it and if you don't actually get the mala itself, you can still get the healing of it if it's related to what you're doing. So it had immediate effects, and then over time, more effects have been coming. So, yeah, like you don't have to actually own it. You can watch the Molascope. You can tap into what she's doing with those or what she's bringing in with those, and you can get the message of it. So the name for mine was Simply Love, which means simply love. Just love. Quit complicate. Follow her. Duh. Quit messing around and follow her so you can watch these Molascopes and you can see if it's yours or if you can benefit from the healing that comes forward in that particular mala. Yes, the energy on the Molascopes is amazing. So mine was overcomplicating things, some things in particular, and forgetting to, the message I get from it is forgetting to keep returning to love. Okay, so every day we're reading from the Course in Miracles that talks about false idols, talks about everything that you seek externally is pretty much garbage. It's not really garbage, but it's disappointing. It's ultimately always disappointing. People let us down. Situations let us down. Environments, people, places, and things let us down because that's not the truth that we really need. It's not the truth that we really crave. So when we continually tap into the truth that we really crave, yeah, you can get the energy from the mala that you don't actually own the mala. The mala is a representative tool for the message. And the message is, from mine, is love. Keep returning to love. Keep returning to love. So I had a whole bunch of revelations yesterday, particularly on the drive down from my house to Atlanta last night, about how, yeah, yes, yeah, you were there for the whole thing. So a number of different things about money, and everyone I know is suddenly struggling with a financial issue of some sort. An income is dropped or dropping, or some sudden expense has come up, or it's just not working. And frankly, I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of thinking about money as an issue. I'm fucking sick of it, actually. And it's the one last, or both. Yeah, it's the one last area of my life where I just can't seem to make it work. Other things that took me years to overcome, I still overcame them and made them work. And this money fucking thing, excuse me, I'm just so frustrated with the whole thing. Or I was. I'm not now, but it's just like, good Lord, this is where I was yesterday. I had it. We'd had a financial blow, and I just had it. I had it yesterday. It was right after I got off the scope yesterday morning. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of thinking about this. I'm so sick of worrying about it. I look back through my journals for years. I'm sorry that I'm like making this a long story, but I look back through my journals over the years, and it's like this issue, this issue, this issue, this issue, that, and it's resolved. Then it's that issue, that issue, that issue, that issue, and it's resolved. And the freaking money is just been a constant forever, and it's still not resolved. Yesterday, when I hit this point, I was like, I am no further along than I was 20 freaking years ago. I am still writing about the same thing. I'm still thinking about the same thing. I'm still experiencing the same damn thing. My money increases, my husband's drops. His increases, mine drops. It's so ridiculous. It's such a constant, predictable pattern. It's so ridiculous. So mine goes up, his goes down. His goes up, mine goes down. So we stay at this constant survival state. We barely make it. So tired of it. So yesterday, after I got the news that it's irrelevant, the issue. But I was like, you know what? This is where I get tripped up every time. It suddenly hit me. This is the road I go down every time. I panic. I freak out. I lose my temper, or I cry. I can do all of these things at once. I sometimes just go to bed paralyzed. I can't think straight. I can't use my tools that I use everywhere else. It's like I completely revert to this ignorant person that has no skills whatsoever. Like, it just completely chops me off at the knees, and I'm done for. And I can be done for hours, or I can be done for days. And there have been times where it has dragged me down for weeks. I'm vulnerable to depression anyway. So when something punches me in the gut, if I don't turn it around quick enough, I can be out. I can be down for the count for weeks. So I caught it, probably because we just had done a scope. And then I had my experience, then I was journaling, and I was like, I'm not journaling about this ever again. I'm not doing it. I'm not writing this issue down. I'm not describing what just happened. I'm not exploring it at all. I've been doing that for years, and it hasn't changed a thing. I'm not writing about this anymore. So I wrote about my mala. I had both of them laying there. I had just taken them off. And I was writing about the mala. Okay, the name of my mala is Simply Love. And what am I not doing in this situation? I'm not choosing love. I'm choosing panic. I'm choosing fear. I'm choosing despair. I'm choosing hopelessness. I put my foot and my pen down. I was like, God damn it, I'm not writing about this again. Not anymore. I'm not doing it. And I had been looking at some courses from a couple of different places, and I was like, and I had it in that moment too. I'm choosing, oh my God, not again. That's what I was choosing. So I was like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You have skills and you're not using them. So put your pen down and go. I was hanging on to my mala for dear life, like, my lifeline, my little pink stone lifeline. Tell me what to do. And I was like, you've had the message, you've been getting the message, you've been talking about the message for years, and here's this tangible message carrier and reminder. And so use it. Duh. You've got the information literally in your hand. Use it, dummy. So I stopped writing, never going to write it about again, and I thought, I'm not going to allow this anymore. I'm not allowing this. There's a time for emotional outburst expression that goes toward healing. Then there's a time when you catch yourself in an emotional outburst expression that's a chronic, destructive, completely dead-end process. And that's the point in that circumstances when you say enough. We're not expressing this emotion anymore because it's a false emotion. It's a chronic, reactive pattern to a situation that's outside of me. And on the way down here is when I got it. Okay. Oh, not you again. I'm pretty sure I've seen you elsewhere. I don't have time for you. I got shit to talk about. So, on the way down from Atlanta, it's a little over a 2-hour drive. It's a freaking pattern. And it's a freaking pattern. And everyone I know does it. Hey Heath, did you figure out what you wanted to do today? We were talking about money. So, I didn't let myself go into that place. I did take it easy. I read a book about nothing. I like sci-fi fantasy stuff. So I had finished a book I was reading and I remembered that I had a gift card from my mom and I had bought some new books and I bought the 3rd book in a trilogy and I read a lot yesterday. I did not allow myself to go into that freaking out about money zone. No, not really, but you'll find something. You will find something to do. You always do. You could separate that wood pile if you want. You could move that wood under the house if you wanted. And I separated wood yesterday too. We have a big pile of deck leftover wood and I went outside and I separated some of that and I just didn't allow it. I didn't allow it for. Right. We've all got stuff you could do. So then coming down here, I thought about resistance. Yeah, I will later. I'm going to get home and the wood pile's still going to be there. I thought about resistance with a capital R, the Stephen Pressfield resistance, the more we express our light out into the world. And I talked about some this morning. If you want the full story on that, you can watch this morning. So, I ain't got time for that nonsense. So, I've been expressing more, opening my business more, expanding more, and I know that resistance can trip me up. It's self-sabotage, resistance, whatever you want to call it. The more light you're putting out, the more likely you are to encounter some things that if you let them will stop you. So I was thinking about that too. Like, oh, this is the last area of my life where I could be stopped. I could allow this panic and this fear and this crap to make me go back to social work. And then everything that I'm doing that I love doing, that I'm totally passionate about, would stop. Okay? And I would not be adding my light to the world in this way any longer because I wouldn't have any energy for it. Right. Yes, that's what I said too. I was like, no, God, I got to get a grip on this. I got to get a handle on this because I cannot go back to social work. And I don't want to stop what I'm doing here. So I thought, okay, there's that angle. And then it kept circling back around that money issue is the only place in my life that I continue to look externally for a solution. That was not fun to realize that I work A Course in Miracles. I work these principles. Everything that happens out here, I have me, stuff's going on out here. I immediately use this as a mirror and say, what is this about for me? And I spin it around and I turn it back on me very quickly every time. If I encounter a person out in the world who's mean to me, which almost never happens anymore, I immediately flip that around and go, God, that was a weird interaction. What the hell was that about? And I spin it around. But not money. Not money. I keep reading books. I keep looking for books. I keep looking for courses. I keep looking for freaking webinars. I keep looking for a different budget. I use an Excel budget. I use a paper budget. I use a Dave Ramsey budget. I use a Susie Orman budget. I use all these freaking external tools instead of turning it all around back into myself. Instead of recognizing that it's shadow spin it all the way back around to myself. Yes. Yes. So I've raised and I'm broadcasting, projecting, and flowing through all this love, yet continuing to separate those two areas in my head. So I continue to run the numbers and I continue to look outside of myself for answers. I'm not receiving it. I'm giving it out. I'm not receiving it. I'm not letting it, it's not coming back because I'm continuing. Yes, Sarah, thank you. It's not coming back in because I'm continuing to look out here, outside here, instead of in here. I'm not finding the places in here. Yes, we're all really good at giving, spending, not so great at receiving. And the answers are not outside. The answers that we're looking for outside are garbage. We read over and over and over in A Course in Miracles that looking outside is guaranteed disappointment. Looking outside is guaranteed struggle, strife, pain, exhaustion, agony, despair, hopelessness, all of it. It is safe for me to receive. I may start working with that affirmation. Your mala is beautiful too. But the message from my mala, okay, and here's the book this is what I opened up to in the Course in Miracles. It will help you if you tell yourself specifically, I can replace my feelings of depression, anxiety, or worry, or my thoughts about this situation, personality, or event with peace, or with love, or with God. All of the things that I have not applied to money. I let people give objects to me easily enough. And I let the idea of receiving in, but I don't put it into action. When I catch myself thinking, so how this would play out and how I've played it out, right, not money energy, not love. That's been a long, ongoing process of spinning it back around, of letting the cycle complete itself. So the cycle doesn't complete itself. When you are constantly giving out and you aren't coming back in, the cycle never completes itself. So it's just an endless outgoing, an endless drain. We value money as a higher value than love. Yes, because we're insane. It's the same. It's all the same. The money, the compliments, the relationships, the jobs, the experiences, every single bit of it is the same. The face is just different. The form is just different. The word is just different. But every single bit of it's the same. But in my head, I've had money separated. I've kept it in a different box. It's a reflection of us. And that's how I treat everything else. Except for money. So what am I doing? So, I had all those thoughts yesterday. Like, oh my God, this has been a huge blind spot for me. A huge blind spot. There is another way of looking at the world. And I did that yesterday too. I asked myself a lot, how can I see this money situation differently? What am I missing? How can I see this differently? What am I not seeing here? Yes, our money stories blind us because they're terrifying. We've talked about before how every fear you have is related to a fear of death. At the root of it all, in existential therapy, every single bit of it all is related to fear of annihilation, fear of death. And the more you work this love stuff, the more your ego, in a sense, dies. Your identity dies, and that can be terrifying. Your identity becomes something new. It's terrifying. It's scary. But you're not the same person you were when you were 2. You're not the same person you were when you were 12. And at 49, I'm going to be a different person at 59. That process of change is ongoing. We just forget. It will help you if you tell yourself specifically, I can replace my feelings of depression, anxiety, or worry, or my thoughts about this situation with peace. It is totally related to survival, and it's not. We think it's related to our survival, but it isn't. Not at the core of it. Our only unchangeable, constant, endless, unlimited life source is our connection to Source. Not the same person as 2 months ago. We think if we don't have money, we'll die. We think if we don't figure out these problems, we're going to die from them. And we're not. And the more we shift our focus from money as our survival to God as our survival, to spirit, to the divine beloved and the connection to that divine, blessed, beloved energy, that's the only place we truly live. The more we allow ourselves to go into that emotion, that energy of, if I don't get this figured out, I'm doomed. And that is a terrible, terrible lie. It's a big fat lie that we tell ourselves. So we need to just put on the mirror, liar, liar, pants on fire, because we lie to ourselves every single day about money. People see money as finite, and it's not. It's as endless as the energy that surrounds us. It's as easy as air. You breathe air without even thinking about it, without even giving it a second thought, unless you're deprived of it. So you can view money the same way. We get deprived of it, you start gasping and grabbing and clutching and getting desperate. But we forget too that our physical body is only a piece of the story. It's only a piece of the story that we can tangibly touch. It's not our story at all. It's not the truth of our story at all. The truth of our story is that we're an extension of that God force. We're an extension of the most powerful energy in the entire universe. The 1% is garbage. The 1% only strengthens our belief that we can't ever win. I hate that 1% and 99%. It sets people up for further victimization in their own heads. Well, why do I even try then? If I'm in the 99% and 1% of the population controls all the income and all the jobs and all the opportunities, then why don't I just give up and start looting my neighborhood or start robbing banks or something? Why don't I even bother going to work with a decent attitude? I'll never have any money. Yep. So I'm not even going to bother anymore because I am in the 99%. And it creates conflict and it creates headbutting and it further keeps us separated. So if you want to think about resistance as the concept of the counterbalancing of light, what better way to keep people in darkness? And this, I don't believe that darkness is a separate being that thinks in these terms. But if you back up and back up and back up, and you have an enormous influx of light that muddies the water, dirties it all up, and gets things going, and it becomes dark for a while, what better way to prevent expansion than to keep people scared? It's dangerous. Desperation makes people do desperate things. Desperation makes people shoot other people to get what they... Scarcity thinking is very dangerous. And there is almost like a tsunami force of light coming in. I think Periscope has amped that up to the nth degree. I couldn't even tell you how the sense I get of much more rapid expansion. With increased rapid expansion comes increased resistance against it. And we can't afford to be distracted. We can't afford to let fears and scarcity and old habits of thinking distract us from this phenomenal thing that is happening as all these minds and people are joining together daily. We are charged with sharing the remembering, yes, power. When you're in scarcity thinking, you are feeling and acting and being a victim. And you are never a victim. We are all powerful. And we are joined together on a daily basis like we all do, several times a day with all kinds of different healers and activating their light and sharing it, which activates your light, and you share it back to us. There's this huge, 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 massive movement of light. So for God's sake, look in your life, and wherever you are letting resistance take you down and make you fall into victimhood, knock that shit off. Just stop that. And I'm serious. You need to stop that, because we've got no time to waste. We have no time to lose. We're doing powerful stuff every single day. Bless you for being here. Without the energy of the group, just stop it. Jesus, will you just stop being a victim? Every time you catch yourself, I was going to tell you earlier. So this is how that happens. You catch yourself running your stinking numbers again, your budget numbers again, even though you already know what they are. Stop that. If you can't do it from a position of power, then don't do it. You're causing more harm than good. When you catch yourself freaking out over something that's not happening right now, go to your Bible, go to your Course in Miracles book, go to your Koya dancing, go to your mala and say some prayers. Go do something else. Catch yourself and stop. Go do something else. Don't fight against it. Don't get in an argument. Oh my God, I can't believe you're thinking about money again. We totally were going to stop thinking about that. Will you stop thinking about that? Why are you still thinking about that? And then you're going round and round and round and round. Don't do that. You catch it. You go, oh, gratitude is my secret weapon of light. Will someone screenshot that? Choose the path of least resistance. Gratitude. Count your blessings. Every single one of us is communicating right now on a smartphone. They're not cheap. If we have one, we're abundant. If we have a house to live in, and we all do, we're abundant. If we have cars to drive, yeah, it's no secret anymore. Esther Hicks says, if all you did, and I believe this is true, if all you did is sit around and make lists of appreciation, everything around you would change. There's no point in not being an open book, right? No point in hiding anything anymore. Hiding stuff and keeping secrets is exhausting. There's no point in doing it. If you're holding secrets in your life, get them out somewhere. Write them out, get them out, tell a friend. Own it. Own up to it. Because that's exhausting, keeping secrets. Or having shame or hiding parts of yourself. Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. A despacho sounds wonderful. Gratitudes for everyone. I did a despacho last time when you were doing it. I did it along with, and it was fantastic. I loved it. That's a great idea. So do that. Do a little despacho ceremony. There is on the Catch channel, Michelle. It's probably on catch.me/thrive with Sarah. It was a few months ago. Look up Despacho, DESPACHO, and watch that scope. It was amazing. It was amazing. I couldn't possibly explain the process to you because I did it, but I don't know the history of it. And we just took these little packets of food and a traditional gratitude ceremony. There you go. From South America, Peru, somewhere south. Yes, and she did it and scoped the whole thing, and it was Peruvian shamans. Yes, perfect. It was, in my mind, it was similar to a medicine wheel. I've done lots of medicine wheels, and it was similar to that, only with food. And then you get to burn it. And burning stuff's fun. So, my guess is we've all taken lots of financial courses. My guess is that we've all taken lots of spiritual financial courses and practical financial courses, and we've read a lot of books, and we've done a lot of study. Now it's time to turn it around and put it into action. When you catch yourself worrying, do not argue with yourself in your head. Just put it down and go do something else. If you have to go take a nap to stop it, do that. I should say go do something else healthy. Don't go eat it or drink it or smoke it or whatever. Don't do something destructive. My suggestion would be go find a scope that's talking about spiritual stuff that's enlightening to you. Go find a book. Go find something on YouTube that's positive. Because here's the bottom line. If you want to bottom line the whole thing, obsessing about money is forgetting. We have forgotten where our power lies. Our power lies not in our checkbook. Our power lies in our connection to source, maintaining it and losing it and getting back to it and losing it and coming back to it over and over and over again. You got to tell yourself, this is silly. We're not victims. I can say that to myself. I'm not a victim. Yes, this happened, and I'll do with it what I can. And when I've done what I can, I'm going to go take a walk. I'm going to go put my feet in the stream. I'm going to go listen to a bird. I'm going to get on Periscope and find somebody positive to watch and connect to and remind me I'm not a victim. And neither are you. There are no victims here. Because we're powerful beings. If we weren't powerful beings that are expanding at a massive rate, we wouldn't all be here talking to each other right now. We wouldn't be doing this stuff every day like we do right now. Like we've been doing for months. We've been doing it for months. Months of intense study daily, several times a day. We're not idiots. We're not victims. We need to stand up and say when we feel like victims, we have to say, stop that right now. Stop, knock that off. That's not true. And I'm not going to lie to myself anymore. I'm not going to lie to myself any longer. It's not the truth. A mind in fear is a mind that is believing a lie. You told yourself a lie and your mind is freaking out. And it's bullshit. Work it. Work your tools. You've got them. Got them right in front of you. Work those tools. So, for everybody that I know that's struggling with money fears, and that is literally every person that I know, remember your power. Remember that you can choose peace. Remember that you can choose to see these old situations differently. How can I see this differently is one of the most powerful questions you can ask, because it opens the way for answers. And we all get in that tendency and we end up with brick prints on our forehead because we just keep banging against the thing. You're moving your desk to look out the window today. Oh my gosh, yeah, your desk should not face a wall. Ugh. Unless it's a wall with cool pictures on it, but a window is better. The most natural thing to do in the world is reach for your connection to source. We have to remember to make that choice because we have free will and that choice won't be made for us. So, lists of appreciation, specific things that you're grateful for. Not just I'm grateful for a home, but I'm grateful for the sound of laughter in my home. I'm grateful for the 5 cats that leave freaking cat hair everywhere, but endlessly entertain me. I'm grateful for the home. I'm telling you, there's 2 babies, 2 dogs, and 2 women in this house. When you open that front door, it's a little, there's some days where it's got a little funk to it. A little bit funky when you come in the door. But that is the smell of love. Although I don't particularly love their dogs. But I love the 4 women who live here. The 2 little women and the 2 grown-up women. God is my strength and vision is his gift. Yeah. That funky smell means there's love in this house. They with the little faces. Yeah. Those babies stink. Babies smell terrible. unless it's right after their bath. But that particular stinky baby smell means there's babies in the house. And who wouldn't want that? I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Bonus, Michelle. I seek what belongs to me in truth. Let me be still and listen to the truth. Babies and little boys smell like goats. They do. Yeah, when they're your own, you don't smell the funk so bad. They smell like little goats. The worst smelling place I ever worked was a boys' residential treatment center. Woo, it smelled like dirty socks and mildew, and it was horrible. There was 20 boys on one floor and 14 boys on the other floor. 20 boys on the third floor, 14 boys on the second floor. Oh, that was some stank. That was some serious stank. Ugh, yeah, yeah, all kinds of fungus. Okay, so write it down somewhere. Diffuser. Yeah, I turn the diffuser on as soon as I get here, and I turn the attic fan on. They don't ever open their windows. That's a problem. You don't ever open your windows, your house is going to get a little funkified. So anyway, when I get here, I turn the windows on, turn on the attic fan. Yeah, it just gets stale. Oh, so lists of specific appreciation. I like where my house sits. It's in the 60s, 64. It's a little bit chilly. It's raining. It's been raining all day, off and on. Several times a day. Make a list of appreciation. I think I told you guys once that, oh yeah, allergies. Yeah, Texas is good for that. That a coworker and I made lists of 100 items a day of things we were grateful for, different items, for 30 days. Life-changing. Yeah, that's all I see. Take the tools that you've been successful with in other areas of your life and apply them to money. I don't know why we think we can't ask for God's assistance with money. I don't know why we think we can't connect to the divine beloved and say, I am not doing a great job of figuring this out. Could you help me, please? Could you help me see this differently, please? Could you guide me to the things that I need to hear? Yeah. Could you calm my fears enough? Could you tell me, peace, be still? Could you take me where I need to go to meet my needs in this physical world with your spiritual help? Yeah. Seek not outside yourself, for it will fail and you will weep each time an idol falls. Duh, right? There is no other answer that you can substitute other than the happiness connection to source brings. We do, but we don't let them have it, and we wait for our answer sometimes, yeah. All your pain comes from a futile search for what you want. And when you are looking outside of yourself, you will never find it. Never. You will fail. It is given you to know the truth, but not to seek for it outside yourself. So forgive yourself for lying to yourself. Forgive yourself for telling yourself lies that scare the shit out of you. Lies that make you feel like you're dying or you're going to die, or even worse, that your family's going to die. Those are lies. That's not true. We do this for our kids. When our kids get wrapped up a lie and they're scaring themselves, we say, no, that's not true. That's not true, honey bunny. Just because your friend's mad at you doesn't mean your life is over. Just because the teacher said something snotty doesn't mean the world is coming to an end. It's all okay. We just have to remember. And we just have to remember and remember and remember. Over and over again. Simply love. Simply love. And I really wish I'd brought my mala with me, but I never bring it here because that is an invitation to disaster. And then remember some more. Some of the books break remember down to re-member, meaning to put yourself back together. You have split yourself apart into all these jagged pieces, and you remember. You put yourself back together. You bring all your power back to where it belongs, which is right here, right now, reaching for your connection to the divine beloved and asking for help and being open to it and listening to the answers that you get, even if you don't like those answers. Yogurt plus mala. Yeah. Dirty little fingers plus mala. No, not going to happen. Dirty little fingers. Not on the mala. Okay. Whew, I feel better. I was like, oh my God, I did not get my thoughts out. I didn't get to complete what I wanted to say this morning because of these toddlers. I can't think. So I skipped nap time with them. They're still sleeping. Do you have any questions? Can you make a list of 100 things you appreciate today that are detailed? I'm grateful for the smell of my husband's chest. Not just I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for the way the light... Oh, thanks. I'm grateful for the way the light hits my porch at 2:30 in the afternoon. Specific gratitudes are far more powerful than generic ones because they make you go deep and they make you really realize how much you have already. Periscope is something to be grateful for. Smartphones are something to be grateful for. Tripods that hold your... Oh, gosh. We don't need no stinking hearts. We don't care about hearts. I don't care about them. They're beautiful. I love them. But I don't check my heart count ever. It doesn't matter. They're beautiful to see, and it lets me know that you're here. But I'm never going to be like, Sarah's green. I don't see no green hearts on the screen. What is up with that? Slacker. Heart slacker. People get all bound up in that stuff. Be thankful for toilet paper. I say that all the time. You better be thankful for toilet paper because we don't want to go back to the days of corn cobs and whatnot and plant leaves and whatever God knows they had to use. I am very grateful for toilet paper and Kleenex and disposable diapers. Although I never use disposable diapers with my daughter, I see that I kind of cheated myself out of some ease. First world problem, heart quantity, for real, for real. So, love it all. Keep coming back to love. Keep remembering that the most powerful source in the universe is available to you. All you have to do is choose it. All you have to do is ask for help. It's just that simple. And you can start the process by recognizing you're upset and asking, how can I see this differently? How can I see this as a blessing? How can I just see this differently than I'm seeing it right now? Because how I'm seeing it right now is really freaking me out. It's not being very productive. I love you too. Love all of you so, so much. So, I'm cooking white chicken chili for my daughter because that's her favorite food on earth. I'll tell you this one thing and then I'll stop. When I lived in Colorado and Morgan lived here in Georgia, I like to can. So I would can her white chicken chili and ship it to her down here. I was digging around in her cabinet, in her pantry the other day. She has 1 jar of white chicken chili left. And I was like, Morgan, you can eat this. You don't have to keep it. This jar, you've had this jar for like 3 years. Eat it. Take it to work today. And she was like, no, I was saving that jar in case you died. She was hoarding the white chicken chili, her last jar of Mom's chicken chili in case I died. She'd have 1 left. I was like, I can make it for you now anytime. She was like, yeah, but I have that in there in case you die. And then after you're dead, I can still have one last jar. She has the recipe. She knows how to make it. She's just being a baby. She wants me to make it. She can perfectly make it herself. I know, right? Oh, I think that's sweet. Kind of. Maybe not. Okay, I'm going to stop and go do stuff. I'm going to go make a list of appreciation, and I hope that you do as well. And I hope that for the sake of all of us who are struggling with money freakouts, that we remember to take a breath. We remember to reach for that connection to the divine. And we make a list of how wonderfully blessed we are, because we are. And we're not going to die. Not like that. Not because of that. Oh, there you are. I was talking about you this morning. Follow Blissful Banter. That's the one I was talking about this morning. I checked out your website. I liked it. Artist and storyteller. Very cool. Glad you're here. Catch the replay. We started this conversation this morning, and then I had to come back and finish it because I felt really incomplete. And I hadn't said what I wanted to say. Yeah, I totally did. It's a nice website. It's got cool stuff on it. I saw your scope yesterday with your little boys too. So she also has twins. Wow. Everyone take a deep breath for the people with small children. Okay, feel better, Sarah. Anyone else suffering physical ailments, feel better. Love you. So much love to you guys. And I will see you in the morning for more discussion. And if something cool happens today, stop by. Oh, look at the little emoticon with the thing on. Yeah, we don't even want your cyber germs. Stop by in the morning if something occurs to you, if you have some cool realizations today or some shifts in your money stories. Shiny Soul, I've seen you before too. I can't remember your description, but I remember I liked it enough to follow you. So, okay, take care. Love you. Count your blessings.